The Lunar New Year Dragons Unleashed event is starting around the world in Pokemon Go, and I want to get you guys ready for this event, everything you need to know, so without further ado, let's get right into it. So this event is going to be February 5th at 10 a.m. to February 11th at 8 p.m. your local time. The bonus during the event will be increased chance of getting lucky Pokemon from trades, so when you're randomly trading, there's a higher chance a Pokemon will go lucky. Usually when this bonus happens, it goes from 5% to 10%. There'll also be an increased chance of becoming lucky friends when interacting with your best friends on your friends list. Lucky friends, by the way, means that the next trade you do will be guaranteed to go lucky, and lucky Pokemon have an IV floor of 12, 12, 12, so generally luckies have great IVs. We'll also have the bonus of increased candy and XL candy for catching Pokemon on nice, great, and excellent throws, so you're going to be rewarded for hitting good throws during this event. Now, wild spawns during the event are going to include Magikarp, Dratini, Shuckle, Fennekin, Skrelp, Noibat, and rare spawns for Jangmo-o, as well as if we complete the global challenge of hitting around the world, all trainers combined, a total of 1 billion nice throws. I know it's a lot of throws. We will also unlock 6 more wild spawns along with their shiny variants. We haven't been confirmed what these are, but if I were to guess, it would probably be Trapinch, Swablu, Gible, Dino, Goomy, and Tyrant. But again, we'll have to wait and see once we unlock that what those spawns are. Also, there will be a Dratini Spotlight Hour during this event on February 6th from 6 to 7 p.m. where Dratinis will be spawning everywhere and will have the bonus of 2 times catch XP. So don't miss that because that's going to be great if you really want to focus on the Dratini spawns. As far as 1-star Ranger event, we'll see Dratini, Dino, and Goomy. And if we do complete the global challenge, we'll get 1 more mystery Pokemon added to that. 3-star raids will be Druddigon, Turtonator, the new Drampa, which can be shiny and is the shiny release during this event, as well as, again, 1 more Pokemon released if we complete that global challenge. And in the Mega Legendary raids, we will see Mega Latios and Mega Latias. Finally, if we do complete that global challenge, we will get access to 6 legacy moves you can get through evolution. They haven't confirmed what these are, but they have teased the types of moves they are. So if we were to do a little math in our head and think what Pokemon are dragon types and have legacy moves, my guess is most likely you will be able to get Earth Power on Garchomp, Earth Power on Flygon, Moonblast on Altaria, Draco Meteor on Dragonite, Boom Burst on Noivern. Oh, it's actually only 5 legacy moves, my bad. We'll also see exclusive field research tasks during the event with the task catch 10 Pokemon for a Trapinch or a Swablu encounter, make 3 great throws for a Darumaka encounter, make an excellent throw for a Gible encounter, win a raid for a Dratini, a Dino, or a Goomy encounter, win 3 raids for a Turtonator, a Druddigon, or a Drampa encounter, power up 5 Dragon type Pokemon for a Skrelp or a Tyrant encounter, and spin 5 Pokestops or gyms for 5 Pokeballs. Finally, there will be a $2 timed research you can go ahead and buy. The task for this timed research will be on screen. Is it going to be worth it? Kind of hard to say. You get 2 lucky eggs there and some cool encounters with certain Pokemon, but in terms of value for money, you're actually losing money because those incubators are actually cheaper to buy by themselves. Do note as well, this is a timed research, so you will have to complete it before the end of the event or you will lose out. Okay, with the event details away, let's get right into the tips, starting with what are the best spawns to catch during this event. Starting off with Magikarp, which Magikarp evolving into Gyarados. Gyarados does have a Mega Form in the game right now, and it is also a good Master League Pokemon, definitely worth grabbing there, and it's not a bad water type raid attacker to have in the game as well. Next up, Dratini evolving into Dragonite. Dragonite is a good Dragon type raid attacker in the game, as well as being very, very good in the Master League. Also give a shout out to Dragonair in the Great League, which is pretty good there, although the Shadow form is better, the regular form can perform well. Next up, we have Fennekin, which evolves into Delphox. Delphox with Blast Burn is a decent budget fire type raid attacker, so if you need a budget, you can definitely grab that. We also have Skrelp, which evolves into Dragalge. Dragalge is good in some limited Great League metas like the Halloween Cup, definitely a Pokemon worth grabbing. Skrelp is also decent in some Little Cup formats. Finally, we have Jangmo-o in there. Jangmo-o evolves into Como-o, which is a decent Great League, Ultra League, and Master League Pokemon. You can make that Pokemon work in all 3 leagues. And also the middle stage, Hakamo, does see some play in the Great League and Great League Limited Cups, as well as Jangmo-o itself being decent in the Little Cup. Now on top of that, I will mention, based on my predictions for those secret Pokemon potentially being released, which ones could be good. First of all, if Gible is one of those spawns, Gible evolves into Garchomp, which does have a Mega Form in the game right now, is a very good Master League Pokemon, as well as being a very good Ground type and Dragon type raid attacker. Swablu's in there, which evolves into Altaria. Altaria does have a Mega Form in the game right now, as well as being a decent Great League Pokemon, although not as good as past seasons. This Pokemon with a single buff could retake its former glory. Dino's also in there, which evolves into Hydreigon. Hydreigon is going to be one of the best Dark type raid attackers, and the middle evolution of Dino, Zweilous, is decent in Great League and Great League Limited Cups, like the Halloween Cup. Dino itself is also not bad in some Little Cup formats. We also have Tyrant in there, which evolves into Tyrantrum, which is a decent Rock type raid attacker. And finally, Goomy in there, which Goomy Goomy evolving all the way up into Goodra. Goodra does see some play in the Master League Premier Cup when there is no legendaries allowed. Again, not confirming those are going to be the special spawns, but those are my predictions. Now with the spawns out of the way, let's get right into the raids and what are the best ones. We already talked about the 1-star Dratini, Dino, and Goomy and their relevance, but moving on to the 3 stars, we have Druddigan. Druddigan does see some play in some limited Great League metas like the Love Cup, so definitely worth grabbing yourself one. Finally, in terms of Mega Latios and Mega Latias, the best one here is going to be Mega Latios, being a good Psychic and Dragon type raid attacker, as well as good in the Mega Master League. Meanwhile, Mega Latias is good in those types, but just worse than Latios, so get the Latios, avoid the Latias. Other than that though, that brings us into the new Pokemon, Drampa, and is it going to be any good in Pokemon Go? Now, Drampa is going to be a normal and Dragon type Pokemon. Have a base attack of 231, defense of 164, and stamina of 186, with a max CP level 50 of 3,294. For fast moves, it can learn Dragon Breath and Extra Sensory, and for charge moves, Outrage, Dragon Pulse, and Fly. Now, as far as a Dragon type raid attacker, unfortunately, Drampa will not have a lot of play, since there's just so many better budget options in this, like for example, Dragonite, and it doesn't compete near the top spots. But what about for PvP? Take a look at against the Great League meta with the moveset of Dragon Breath, Fly, and Outrage. You will see it have a 21% win ratio and 78% loss ratio, which is not very great. As you can see, a lot of the match losses are going to be on the left of this line, which means it loses. Obviously, losing to a lot of the ice types and fairy types in the meta, which isn't great. But what I will say is it does make a pretty unique counter to things like ghost types, like Lickitung, for example, because it resists those ghost type moves being a shadow. Taking a look at the same moveset against the Ultra League meta, again, similar win to loss ratio, which isn't very great. Again, only really beating certain ghost type Pokemon. And then the Master League doing even worse. So yeah, unfortunately at this time, this Pokemon does not see a lot of play anywhere. It's going to be a Pokedex Pokemon, but I do think it has a very unique typing, and with the correct move updates in the future, like Dragon Claw, for example, it could definitely see some niche play in PvP. And actually, I could see this Pokemon being pretty good in some limited Great League metas right now, so maybe just grab one for that. But something else I want to talk about is getting lucky friends. You see, during this event, I mentioned that there is the bonus of increased chance of getting lucky friends. So I want to mention to you guys the fastest way to interact with all your best friends to try to hit lucky. What you're going to do is you're going to organize by friendship here. You're going to search friend level 4, which is going to show you all your best friends, because you can only hit lucky friends with your best friends, and search interactable. I've gone ahead and tagged all my local friends, since those are the people I'm going to be trading with the tag local, but you're going to want to go ahead and start opening the gifts of your local friends. I guess you can also add and not lucky if you've already hit lucky, and you're just going to start opening like this. Pretty much during this event, there's going to be a higher chance that opening gifts or interacting with a friend like this is going to have a chance of you guys hitting lucky. I'm curious if I can hit lucky with somebody right now. Another way you can go ahead and interact with trainers is to just battle with them once a day. You can go ahead and do a raid with them once a day. You guys can go ahead and trade once a day. A lot of ways to interact with friends to potentially hit lucky friends, but this is what I'm going to be doing every single day. Make sure you're opening your gifts with all the best friends that you have. So yeah, it looks like I didn't hit lucky with any of my local friends, but I'm going to be doing that during the event because there will be a higher odds. And once you hit lucky, you can do those lucky trades to potentially get shundos. And that moves us on to our candy tips. There's a lot of great spawns, research, and raids during this event, so you want to make sure you're getting the most amount of candy. So let's run through my candy tips to follow during this event. Number one, hit nice, great, and excellent throws during this event. The better throw you get, the more catch candy you will end up getting. So hitting those throws is going to be worth it. The exact amount of extra candy you get is 1 extra candy for a nice throw, 2 for a great throw, and 3 for an excellent throw. So it's going to be worth focusing on those excellent throws if you can. Next up, use pineapple berries. Regular pineapple berries will multiply catch candy by 2 and silvers by 2.34. So definitely use pineapple berries on any of those rare spawns or spawns you want, like the Dratinis during this event. Next up, you can mega evolve a Pokemon. The best Pokemon to catch during this event are all dragon types, so I definitely would recommend going ahead and mega evolving a dragon type. Megas you could evolve would include Mega Charizard X, Mega Ampharos, Mega Sceptile, Mega Altaria, Mega Salamence, Mega Latias, Mega Latios, Mega Rayquaza, or Mega Garchomp. Mega evolve any of those so you get more candies for all those dragons in the raids in the wild, and yeah, it's just worth it. Next up, you can go ahead and trade Pokemon. It's the season of timeless travels, which means every time you trade away a Pokemon, you're guaranteed an XL candy and you'll get 2 extra regular candies. Saving and holding on to any of those rare Pokemon you got, like the Jangmos in the wild, the Dratinis, the Goomies in the research and the raids, all those kind of Pokemon that we talked about in the meta relevance section are going to be worth going ahead and trading or even mirror trading with a friend. On top of that, there's a higher chance you randomly get luckies during this event, probably going to be about a 10% chance, which means every 100 trades, you're probably going to get 10 luckies. Luckies have a much higher IV floor, so if you're trying trying to hunt a hundo or a good IV of any of these rare spawns like Gibble, Dratini, Dino, whatever, trading for them is going to be essential. Finally, you can go ahead and transfer Pokemon, and Niantic did this perfectly because at the end of this month, right after the Sinnoh Tour as well, is going to be the Sand Slash Spotlight Hour on February 27th from 6 to 7 p.m. where we'll have the bonus of 2 times transfer candy. So save any of these rare dragons you can if you have the space. I know it's going to be a little bit tight because of Sinnoh Tour and all that stuff, and then transfer them then. If not, you can also just transfer them now if you need the space. You still get candy for transferring, which is great. And finally, the last tips I want to talk about are going to be the Platinum Medal tips. You need 35 Platinum Medals, go from level 48 to 49 in Pokemon Go. Which one should you work on during this event? First of all, we have all these dragon spawns during this event. So the Dragon Tamer Medal, catch 2,500 dragon types. If you haven't completed this Platinum Medal, definitely go ahead and catch as many dragons as you can during this event. Now, trading during this event is definitely going to be worth it. So the Gentleman Medal, trade 2,500 Pokemon, is one you can definitely work on as well because you just want to be trading every day to try to get those luckies. You also have the Rising Star Medal, defeat 150 species of Pokemon in raids. We have a bunch of exclusive raids and new raids like the Drampa, so definitely do at least one Drampa raid, even if you don't want to get that new shiny, as it will get you a point towards this Rising Star Medal. And finally, Magikarp is a spawn during this event, so the Fisher Medal, catch 1,000 big Magikarps, is one you can work on. This pretty much means catching a Magikarp that weighs more than 13.13 kilograms in Pokemon Go. So catching a lot of Magikarps, hopefully they're going to be big ones, getting you points towards this medal. Also, if your friend catches a bunch of these big Magikarps, they can trade them to you to get you more points towards this medal. I'm actually going to be live streaming the event tomorrow, so come check it out if you want to see what the event is like. We're going to be playing it live. Come say hi. With that being said, that's it from me. Follow from tips, everybody. Peace.